This is Nellie Dockham. She was born May of 1939. Where did you live?
Well, way back then, we did live in Grand Rapids, and there was an airport there, and we lived in a small rental home, but my dad lost his job because there wasn't no more work, and so we got kicked out of that house because we couldn't afford the rent anymore. So then we went out in the country and we found a granary, which is a type of barn where they keep grain. And we made a home out of that granary. And all of us children and my folks, there was 4 girls and 4 boys at that time. And we made a home out of that granary, and that's where we lived.
Okay. How many brothers and sisters did you have?
Like I said, 4 girls and 4 boys.
What was your job?
Well, I was too young to actually carry down a job that would get paid. So we just did chores and stuff like that around the house and everything like that.
What was your favorite thing to eat?
Well, our favorite thing to eat was, well, on Sunday dinners it would be beef roast, mashed potatoes, homemade bread, pie for dessert, and homemade butter for on the bread. But then for our favorite things to eat was the vegetables that we grew in our own garden, and we raised chickens and ducks and geese, and then we got eggs from them, so we ate those. And then with our chickens and ducks and geese and eggs and vegetables, we would trade them for the farmers that had the cows and the pigs and the milk. We'd trade our food for their food, and that way we'd have a balanced diet.
Okay. Did you have any pets?
We had cats and dogs off and on.
What were dates like?
Well, my older brothers and sisters went on dates, and I can remember they had rumble seats in the back of the car, and that's pretty much what they rode in. But on their actual dates, they probably went swimming or roller skating or to a movie or something like that.
What was the weekend like?
A lot of work. We did our chores, we cleaned house extra deep, we did the laundry if it was to be done, just stuff like that. Always had to weed the garden. I can remember that quite clearly.
What was school like?
School was in just one room. It was called the one-room schoolhouse, and all the classes were just in groups all around in this one large room. There were no partitions. There was just one large room in the schoolhouse, and all the different classes. And the school went from first grade through the 8th grade, but there was no kindergarten back then.
Did you have to wear any special clothes or anything?
We were not allowed to wear pants for the girls, and the boys were not allowed to wear jeans, because jeans were farm clothes. They had to clean the barns and stuff with that. They were not allowed to wear them to school. And the girls were not allowed to wear the long pants. They had to wear either skirts or dresses.
Okay. What was your closet like?
Empty. No, that's what the closets were like. We just didn't have very much. We had 1 or 2 changes of clothes.
Do you talk about this?
Back also in our food system, we used to have way back then, they had stamps to buy gas. You couldn't go to the gas station and just fill up your tank. You had to have a stamp, and you could only get just so many gallons with that stamp. And things like sugar, you had a stamp to buy sugar, because you couldn't, that wasn't allowed to buy just whatever you needed either.
What is different from then to now?
Just everything's different. Well, for one thing, where we moved that granary down to, it was about a quarter of a mile from where we bought it, and then we made a house out of it about a quarter of a mile down the road, and that's where the airport is now, today. The Gerald R. Ford Airport is across the street from where we lived back then.
I think that about wraps it up. Did you say so?
Is there anything else that you'd like to know?
I think we're good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Young man.